Lights out performance by Edwin Jackson and defense by our 44-year-old phenom. The Sox were able to bring home a win streak as they get set to start 10 straight games on the south side. Now, this homestand begins with the Central leading Detroit Tigers and a chance to gain some ground in this tight divisional race. As White Sox baseball next on Comcast Sportsnet. From the beautiful city, Chicago, Illinois, Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Mark Buehrle, Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, Max Ordonez, and the Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson. We get set to bring you the first of this three-game set and the first of this huge 10-game homestand. 3 with these guys, 3 with the Red Sox, and 4 with the Yankees. So the Sox coming off that rain-abbreviated road trip where we were supposed to play 9. We got rained out 1 game. Came home 5-3. Good finish right there, winning those 2 in Cleveland. And tonight, Mark Buehrle on the bump.
Mark Buehrle's 7-5 this year, throwing the ball pretty well, and lifetime against this Tiger team, he's 17-9. He's a good man to start it off because he's going to cut the ball into the right-handers. He's got to watch Victor Martinez. He's 4 home runs against him lifetime, and there's some pretty good offense on this team. Peralta's been red hot. Dwayne Bilo goes to the mound. He's had 1 major league start, that coming against Oakland. He went 5 innings. He got a no decision. He gave up 1 earned run, 3 runs overall. He's a soft-tossing left-hander. We know about the soft-tossing left-handers we haven't seen. That being said, this guy does not have overwhelming stuff. So a huge game in the first game against the Tigers. We come in 4.5 back. Hopefully we can cut one off their lead tonight.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Subway. Every day at Subway, choose from many delicious regular foot-long subs for just $5. Subway. Eat fresh. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today or go to shophonda.com and find great values on a new Honda. AT&T Uverse. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by United. Proud to fly the Chicago White Sox.
Xfinity on demand only from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. And a little bit earlier, the ceremonial first pitch was thrown by none other than Buddy Guy. He's a blues legend, one of the great guitar players ever. Wonderful to see him at the ballpark. It was caught by Johnny Danks. And one of the pioneers in a field that has become synonymous with Chicago. Let's take a look at how Jim Leyland is going to line up his Detroit Tigers, occupying first place by 2 games over the Indians and 4.5 games over our Sox. Jackson back in the lineup leading off, and it's BOESCH, ORDONEZ, CABRERA, Victor Martinez the DH, with red-hot Johnny Peralta, Guillen, Rayburn, and AVILA catching and hitting 9th. The degree defensive setup, and now they'll line up behind Mark Buehrle, PIERRE, RIOS, and Quentin left to right, with Morel, Ramirez, BECKHAM, and KONERKO. A.J. Pierzynski gets a nod behind the plate, and the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Mark Buehrle. Mark looking for his 8th win of the year. The ERA getting ever lower at 3.38. He's been putting together some very solid starts, and hopefully he's got another one in the bag against the Tigers. He's 17-9 lifetime against them. Let's take a look at the White Sox after 100 games played against Central. Not quite as good as they'd like, and at home they have to start taking advantage of that. The fielding percentage has been spectacular. 9th in hitting, 10th in runs. Those numbers aren't good. But since May 7th, they lead the American League in earned run average. As you can see, with the pitching goes a little better performance, and hopefully the same will be true tonight. So as Ozzie Guillen gets ready for a huge series against Detroit and a big homestand coming up, we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the first of this huge 10-game homestand. Austin Jackson gets set to lead it off against our southpaw Mark Buehrle, and first pitch of the game is a strike. Jackson comes in hitting at 243. 4 homers, 23 dropped in. Tigers hitting at 265 as a club with a 4.21 ERA. Buehrle, like Buehrle, gets it and throws it, and the count 1-2.
We didn't see Jackson in Detroit. He was nursing a sore wrist. They thought for a while like they were going to have to put him on the disabled list, but that wasn't to be, and he's one of the catalysts, especially in the running game. However, Mark Buehrle can shut down a running game.
Well, he's played well against us this year.
Good player.
This is the 10th game of the season between these two clubs. In the first 9, we've won 3. Jackson, lifetime against Mark, 6 for 12.
No stranger to the strikeout is Austin Jackson. 109 strikeouts in 96 games.
And that's a fair ball, and that's going to be a base hit.
AJ really had no other decision to make because this ball had overspin. It was moving away from him. Everybody knows the foul lines in this ballpark. When it gets to that point, it's not going to roll foul.
So that'll bring up Brennan BOESCH, the left fielder, hitting at 295 with 14 homers and 48 driven in. Tigers, a good offensive team. They have 98 home runs. We have 92. They're hitting 265. We're hitting 250. But their ERA is 4.21. Ours is 3.70.
They've been really helped by getting Carlos Guillen back in the lineup. All he's done is hit 360.
Well, when Carlos Guillen is healthy, he changes the whole complexion of that lineup.
Well, he gives him a switch hitter who has some power, but can hit just about anybody from both sides of the plate.
You got Carlos Guillen hitting 7th. You're in good shape. And that pitch outside, says Jim Wolf.
Bush has got pretty decent speed for a big man, but he has grounded into 6 double plays. Tough man to walk. 27 walks in 349 at bats.
Just a short lead by Jackson, and that pitch is popped up. Beckham.
The umpires for the game tonight: Jim Wolf behind the plate, Ron Culpe is at first, Daryl Cousins, the crew chief, is at second, and DJ Rayburn is at third. It's a beautiful night for baseball. 78 degrees, not a cloud in the sky.
Here's Magglio, 37-year-old veteran. Takes first pitch strike. Hitting at .236, 3 homers, and 16 knocked in. Lifetime against Burley's hit him well, 16 for 35 with a couple of home runs.
One of the things that he can't do any longer is run. So if you get him to hit the ball on the ground, it's going to be 2.
That ball hit hard into center field for out number 2. So 2 down to their big horse. Miguel Cabrera hitting at .312, 20 homers, 64 knocked in. Lifetime against Burley, though, is just 4 for 22 with no home runs. Takes first pitch strike.
The defense playing him exactly straight up. They're playing him as a bit of a pull hitter in the infield, but you see by that shot, Rios is straight away in center.
And almost a blueprint, but didn't get that one. 1-1 to count. Jackson at first, 2 out here in the top of the first if you're just tuning in. Shanks, that one good pitch by Burley. Cabrera, that kind of hitter that if you make a mistake, he's probably going to kill you. You can make good pitches on him, but if he's swinging the bat real good and you stay away from him, he's going to beat you to right field. He can hit you out of any place in a ballpark.
One of the reasons why Mark has had such success against him is because he's cut that fastball in off the plate inside. Doesn't throw it for strikes normally, but he'll force him to swing at it when he's ahead. And last pitch, AJ wanted to go in there.
And a full count. With Victor Martinez on deck, who has really hit Burley hard. There's a bullet right back through the middle. So Jackson will pull up at second.
Mark not wanting to walk him. Uses a little too much of the plate. That ball out over the plate. And Cabrera usually doesn't miss him there.
So here's Martinez hitting at .318, 6 homers and 55 knocked in. He is 23 for 69 lifetime against Mark with 4 home runs. Takes first pitch strike.
Martinez a much better hitter from the left side, .336 as opposed to .265 as a right-hand hitter. It hasn't made much of a difference against Mark Burley.
Yeah, left-handed, he can hit some good pitches. Right-handed, if it's a mistake, he's more of a mistake hitter right-handed.
Outfield straightaway once again. Mark stays inside. The left side of the infield is going to come into play.
And that is chopped just foul. So the count 1-2 to Martinez.
Jim Leyland has got his team in first place. Versus the Sox, he is, however, under 500.
Jammed him. And Paulie got to play. And that'll retire the side. Good pitch right there by Burley. So after happening at play, it's the Tigers nothing and the good guys coming to bat.
Tonight, Juan Pierre's going to lead it off. He's been swinging the bat very well lately. Then it's Ramirez, Konerko, Dunn the DH with Quentin, Rios, Pierzynski, who's been hot at home with Beckham and Morel rounding it out. The degree defense and how they'll line up behind Dwayne Bilo. BOESCH, Jackson, and Ordonez left to right with Rayburn, Peralta, Guillen, and Cabrera at first. ALEXEI Avila behind the plate, and the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Dwayne Bilo. Those numbers are from his 18 starts at AAA in Toledo. He was pretty good down there. One start in the major leagues. Went 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, but only one of them earned. So he's a soft-tossing left-hander. He'll get the fastball around 90, but it does sink. And he throws more of a slider than a curveball to go with a changeup that he throws a lot in fastball counts.
And before we show you our picks, to click you at home, select yours as Juan Pierre will stand in. First pitch strike. Juan at 276, a homer. He's driven in 26. And the count 0-2.
This infield doesn't have great range. Peralta has played a very solid shortstop, but doesn't have too much range to go get it.
Chopper, again with a little backhand, and it'll be a base hit.
This ball up the middle would have been a tough play, but Ian could not get his footwork righted. and a promising way to start the first inning.
So that'll bring up ALEXEI, hitting at 270, 9 homers. He's driven in 41. Takes first pitch strike. Cleveland leading the Angels 1-0. Bottom of the first inning. Texas hitting in the bottom of the first at home against Minnesota. Rangers leading 3-0. Decent lead by 1. Off the end of the bat. Just looks the second. Goes to first.
Yeah, surprised Rayburn did not go to second. Actually had a play there. But fortunately he didn't.
So here's Paulie. Paulie hitting at 307, 22 homers and 70 driven in.
Jeff Cox is going to be pretty aggressive at third base. He's going to run on all of these Tiger outfielders.
Takes that pitch down low. Paulie this year 7 for 23 against Tiger pitching with a homer and 3 RBIs lifetime against Detroit. He's a .290 hitter with 39 homers and 131 driven in. Nice place to pick up number 40 against Detroit. And he just missed it. High Major League pop-up, 2 down. So with 2 out, let's check out our picks to click. Jim Angio, our director in the crew. Carlos Quentin. Stone Pony's going with A.J. Pierzynski. And the Canachero tribe. Jim, Kathy, Jim, and Jeff. We're going to go with ALEXEI Ramirez. So here's Adam Dunn. Adam at 160, 9 homers and 36 knocked in. Ian about 20 feet back on the outfield grass at second base.
And Peralta not overshifted quite as much as he normally would be because he's the man responsible for keeping Juan Pierre close.
As those numbers for KONERKO against the Tigers were huge. Adams been on the other side of the page. He's just 4 for 34 lifetime against them with no homers and 2 RBIs. Check that. That's this year. 193 lifetime. Two and 0 the count. Nice crowd on hand. On a beautiful night in the beautiful city. Ball hit hard right to Cabrera. And that'll retire the side. So both teams get the leadoff man aboard. Can't score after 1. Nada.
spectacular. Record 5-2, and you can tell why. The overall ERA 188, starters ERA 193, the bullpen is 172, and the opponents correspondingly aren't hitting very well. That's the one thing that's kept this team afloat. It's 4.5 games in back of Detroit. That's why tonight's game, knowing you're facing Verlander tomorrow night, is such a big game.
Johnny Peralta having a big year for Detroit. Comes in at .322, 16 homers and 59 knocked in. Johnny 23 for 77 lifetime against Mark with a couple of homers. Out and around that one. And the count 1-1.
There is one of the best in the business, Justin Verlander. Last time we didn't have a whole lot of trouble with him in Detroit. No bearing on tomorrow night.
Outfield straight up. That equidistant. Morel.
Bert Blyman went into the Hall of Fame, and one of the things that he used to do all the time was give his teammates the hot foot. Well, it was Justin Verlander's turn with Don Kelly. Now, he doesn't know that the back of his shoe is on fire quite yet.
He will.
It will become apparent here. There we go. How did that happen?
Time has been called as Guillen.
The merry prankster.
I'll tell you, that used to go on all the time. You know, everybody who watched Carl Yastrzemski, Hall of Famer, play and watched him in interviews all thought he was very staid, stoic, introverted. When he got in that clubhouse, he would crawl on his hands and knees and belly all the way around the clubhouse to give somebody a hot foot. 0-2 the count. What Carl also used to love to do was to get a guy in his locker reading the paper. Guys used to read the papers back in those days. He gone. 2 down. And Carl would have a stick with a match on the end of it, and he would hold it underneath the paper. It would light it on fire.
Not much anymore. Now you'd have to have light the iPads on fire.
You know, everybody's got their iPad out. So here's Rayburn. 221, 9 homers and 32 knocked in. Takes first pitch strike.
I took a little something off. Rayburn, a dead fastball hitter early in the count, especially middle in.
And the count 0-2.
That's what he's done this year against the Sox. 321.
And BP is giving the first 20,000 fans at each home game a BP game card. Enter the sweepstakes on the back on the card to win an autographed White Sox bat and a $500 BP gift card. And that's into center field. It's going to fall in for the hit.
Rayburn continues his hot hitting against the Sox as Mark cuts a fastball. He wanted this ball inside. This ball got up and out over the plate. Rayburn hits a sinking line drive to center field, keeps the inning alive.
For Alex Avila, who's been struggling since the All-Star break, as he did make the All-Star team. And he deserved to be there. Just off the corner.
We've seen him with tremendous power to left center field.
And the count 2-0.
See the month of June as opposed to July, where the Heat, he's catching his 85th game. Takes a lot out of you.
Little chopper 3 hopper. And that'll do it. We go to the bottom of the second. No score.
Participating McDonald's for $1.89.
Well, coming in 4.5 back of these Tigers and having this big homestand, Stone Pony is certainly the biggest homestand of the year as up to date.
Well, there's no doubt that you certainly want to take at least 2 of 3 from the Tigers tonight, the big game, because Verlander goes tomorrow. And then you've got the 2 hottest teams around, the Red Sox and the Yankees, following them into town. So 10 games here at home. Place we haven't taken advantage up to this point. Doesn't mean we can't do it from here on in, because if we don't, it's going to get very difficult the rest of the way.
So for us in the bottom of the second, it'll be Quentin, Rios, and Pierzynski against the 25-year-old southpaw, 6'3", 218 pounds, out of Britain, Michigan, Dwayne Below.
He's got about 40 passes at the game tonight. So a lot of folks have driven down. Taking a look at their native son.
First pitch strike. And the count evens at 1. Quentin at 266, 20 homers. He's driven in 60. And that is fouled back. So the count 1-2. Tomorrow night, Jake Peavy against Justin Verlander. Then on Wednesday afternoon, Johnny Danks against Max Scherzer. So make your plans to be with us here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field.
What we haven't seen so far is a lot of the straight change from Below.
Hits that one hard, but hooks it. Well, I've mentioned this before, the 5 worst words you can tell a hitter, especially against a left-handed pitcher, is he's got a good straight change.
We've got to see it. Haven't seen it yet, but he has one.
And the only 5 words worse than that is he's got a great straight change. Hitters don't mind. Major league hitters don't mind if you tell him, hey, this guy's got a terrific fastball. They don't mind if you tell him he's got a terrific curveball that's popped up into right field, because they've seen all that before. But when you tell a guy he's got a great straight changeup, all of a sudden his mind starts turning.
Well, so far what he's done is he's used the inside part of the plate as the show me pitches. When he's gone to get the hitters, he's stayed away from the right-handers. And you wouldn't expect that Rios would be any different.
So here's Rios. Takes it right there. Right down the chute. And that's right side. Going to be foul, and it's going to be in the seats. And a reminder, join the Chi Sox mobile group by texting VIP. That's VIP to 244-769 for a chance to win the experience of a lifetime. Winner will receive one night stay at the Four Seasons Hotel, transportation to the game, 2 United Scout seat tickets for August 21st, and also a $200 gift card to Bacardi at the park. Text VIP to 244-769 to be entered to win. Back to the middle and into center field.
There was a straight change. Only Velo got that one up. See the first straight change, and it's right up in the eyes of Alex as he takes it right back up the middle.
So here's AJ. AJ hitting at 285, 3 homers. He's driven in 30. And that is fouled. And Rayburn gets to it, makes the catch. So 2 down.
It's pretty good play, and a tough play for a third baseman. If Bosch wasn't around in left center field, he might have had a shot at it. No chance at all for Peralta. But Rayburn, who we've seen at second base, now we see him at third. We've seen him in the outfield. Goes and makes the play right around the tarp.
Now he's sort of taking over for Brandon Inge as being the all-purpose player for this ball club, and he has played well against us this year. Rayburn hitting it .321 with a couple of homers and 11 RBIs. 11. He's leading the club by far in that category. Next closest is Cabrera with 6. In lifetime against us, Rayburn is a .296 hitter with 9 homers and 39 RBIs and just 190 at bats. Oh, and 2 the count to Beckham.
Talked to Gordon before the game about how he goes up against a guy he's never seen before, and he said, look, I looked at him on tape. I know he's got a sinker. I know he throws a straight change, but I don't know exactly what it's going to look like until I see it a couple times. So we'll see who has the advantage the first time through.
Two out, 0-2 the count with Morrell on deck. And that's to Carlos Guillen, and that's out number 3. So we're into the third, scoreless.
White Sox in-game live only on CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape.
Top of the order for the Tigers here in the top of the third. Jackson, Boesch, and Ordonez. He had a little swinging bunt right down the third baseline, leading off the ball game.
That time he tried to push it right by Mark Buehrle, which is not an easy thing to do. Mark, of course, a Gold Glove fielding pitcher. He wanted to push it right at Gordon Beckham and try to beat the play to the bag.
Now Paulie comes in a few steps as the count evens at 1.
AJ got that one flush. Jim Wolf is going to take his time now, walking out to Mark Buehrle. Got it on the right shoulder and then under the mask. So Jim Wolf inquiring as to how he's doing.
The 1-2 pitch. That changeup popped up, took a lot off of it, and the lead man gone. So here's Boesch. He grounded out to Beckham. Texas leading Minnesota now 4-0. Now 5-0. And now 6-0. First pitch strike.
Nick Blackburn not having a real good time deep in the heart of Texas.
There are a lot of guys that have a little trouble down there. And the count 1-2.
Texas comes into this one at 58-44, 3-game lead over the Angels, and 33-19 at home.
That ball hit hard. Get foul. It will. Thank you very much.
That one almost hit too hard to Hook, but fortunately hooked in front of the pole. Ron Kulpa on the line, watching it all the way. A rocket by Boesch. So let's take a look at the standings in the AL West. Despite the fact that the Rangers have been just on fire, the Angels have hung right with them. They are trailing in the middle of the 5th inning, 1-0 at Cleveland, however.
Two balls, two strikes. 26-year-old outfielder, Brennan Boesch. Out in front, hooks that one foul. And Police and Fire Night is Wednesday, August 17th at 7:10 p.m. First 20,000 fans will receive White Sox lunch bags presented by Underwriters Laboratory. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. Right back to him. 2 down.
Mark squares up after his delivery and is in very good fielding position. Boesch goes back up the middle. But you're trying the wrong guy.
So 2 out to Ordonez. Who lined out hard to Rios in center. And that Cleveland 1-0 lead over the Angels. Game in the bottom of the 5th. That is Carmona against Herron. And there's the base hit. The Mags now 17 for 37 lifetime off Burley.
4th single of the night against Mark, and brings up one of the more prolific run producers in baseball. Here's our United Airlines leaders of the game, and since 2004, 881 runs batted in for Cabrera, 5th in the major leagues.
Yeah, there's one thing about it, though. He's only just turned 28.
Well, he surfaced in 2003, and on that World Championship team, they put him into right field despite the fact that he had never played there. He was one of the stars of the postseason for the Marlins.
There's the strike. Well, that year he drove in 62 runs in 87 games. With the heat on.
Major league leaders since 2004. Albert Pujols, Mark Teixeira, Alex Rodriguez, David Ortiz. Pretty select company for the big man.
And that's in the center field. Short. Beckham back. Yeah. No, he drops the ball.
Most likely will be E4. It looked like Gordon started to peel off to his right. And it does go E4. You see how he moves to the right, and the ball hits the heel of the glove.
So that will bring up Victor Martinez. Tough to give clubs, especially good clubs, 4 outs in an inning. Mark has really, it's one of the big outs of this ball game. And that being the case, it could be one of the big outs in this whole homestand. And Martinez singles, they're going to score. So it's a 1-0 Tiger lead.
This has been a very sure-handed baseball team most of this year. That a costly mistake, then a cutter. Then Martinez hits off the end of the bat, driving in his 56th run of the year and the first run of the game.
And here's Peralta. He grounded out to Miguel. And that ball hit over into the left field corner and foul. This is really one of the better 4th, 5th, and 6th hole hitters in the American League. And you got Cabrera, Martinez, and Peralta. 1-2 the count. And that is high. Right size, wrong shape.
Mark can just get out of this one. Giving up the 1 run, we should be in pretty good shape.
Well, if we can't overcome the 1 run off a rookie, we don't deserve it anyway. Jammed it, popped him up. And ALEXEI looking for help. And this is going to fall. Mercy. Wow.
Somebody's got to take control of that, and nobody did. There's no doubt that Alex was deep in center field. But apparently nobody called it. That ball up a long time. ALEXEI goes back, looks like he's going to make it, but he's looking at Alex and nobody calls for it. Either one could have had it.
This is exactly what you just don't need. This looks like the first 2 months of the season. So here's GUILLEN.
There goes RBI number 60 for Peralta.
2-0 the count to the 35-year-old veteran switch hitting infielder. And that's trouble. So that'll load him up as Martinez. That was a good base running play because that would have been the only play that Morel had.
Well, if it's Austin Jackson at third base with 2 outs, you figure he's probably going, but not Victor Martinez. So here comes Don Cooper, realizing Mark Burley's going to have to get 5 outs against a very good offensive team to get out of this inning. But the pep talk usually goes something like, you hold him to 2, we'll get you a win. Just make sure you get Rayburn out.
Rayburn, who singled sharply into center field last inning. He's 7 for 27 lifetime with a couple of homers off Burley. Sacks packed with Tigers. And he takes strike 1. And that ball hit into center field. Back on the track. But we gave them 5 outs. They've come up with 2 unearned runs, and they lead it 2-0.
the only player in White Sox history with a 300-plus average, 30-plus stolen bases in his rookie season. If you ponder that for a bit, we'll get back to you with the answer a little later in the game. Now, earlier, after the inning was over, Mark Buehrle, wanting to give his teammate, who has helped him so much this year, a little pat.
You can have some as good, but you'll never find a teammate better than Mark Buehrle.
One of the most even dispositions for a fierce competitor that I've ever seen.
Ditto. He's one of my all-time favorite. I'm not talking about just with the White Sox. I'm talking about all-time favorite players I've ever been around. First pitch strike to Morel. Bad part about that is it gives a rookie left-hander making just his second major league start against a full house a little bigger plate to work with when he's got a 2-run lead. And the count 1-2. Ball hit hard and into right field for the base hit. So a good way to start to get him back.
Avila can't afford to make too many mistakes with his fastball. And the difference here is that Avila wanted it inside and Velo got it down the middle of the plate. Brennan Morel hit it awfully hard, and at 90 there's really not much margin for error.
So here's Pierre, one at an infield single, little chopper back through the middle. Takes first pitch strike.
Ready to deliver his 31st pitch. Not a particularly high total at this point.
That breaking ball fouled away, and very quickly the count 0-2. Now, one thing about him, he's coming right at him.
Really has to, because if you nip at the corners with the stuff that he has, you're going to have some problems. And his first time out against Oakland, he showed he will go right at the hitters.
That breaking ball high. And a reminder, visit the official online shop of the White Sox. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. So get your gear from the official source. Shop at whitesox.com. And that ball hit hard, but Rice is going to pull up. So the first 2 men aboard. There's a play that could have been made.
That one poorly played. I don't think Bush saw the ball very well off the bat. That's up there for a while. And he just moves backwards to get it back in. So very promising start to the third inning.
So here's Ramirez. He grounded out to Rayburn at third. Corners in close. And that'll get the job done. Just looks around and that's it. So the sacrifice, 5-4.
Good bunt, forcing Rayburn for the only play that he had As Ramirez, for just the 5th time this year, able to lay down a perfect sacrifice.
So here's Paulie with ducks on the pond, 1 down. Dunn on deck. 2-7-0 for their guys, 0-4-1 for our guys. And that ball high into left center field. Everybody tagging. Here goes Juan. He's in there as Morel scores, and it's a 2-1 ball game on the sacrifice fly. RBI number 71 for Paulie.
That cuts the lead in half and puts a tying run 90 feet away for Adam Dunn.
Adam hit the ball hard, grounded out to Cabrera at first. And breaking ball a little high. And there's the strike. Watch out. That a wild pitch. Pass ball. Fouls that one back. So the count 2-2 with 2 down. Full count. Quentin, the on-deck hitter. And that's chop foul. Ball 4 base hit, Adam. And just got a piece of that one. Texas just hammering Blackburn and the Twins 9-0. Kinsler just hit a 3-run homer.
It's in the bottom of the 3rd inning. There's a long way to go on that one.
3-3-3. They have scored. But right here, let's tie it up. Good rip. He's had a couple of good pitches to hit in this thing and fouled them back.
Bank of America Pitch Tracks shows you one that's right down the middle at 89 miles an hour.
And he calls him out, but we pick up one. We'll go to the fourth trailing by one.
This fourth inning is brought to you by the fourth meal from Taco Bell. Open 1 a.m. or later.
It's a 2-1 Tiger lead here in the top of the fourth inning with the catcher, Alex Avila, leading off. He grounded out softly to Beckham. Takes ball one. Now feel about equidistant, spread out slightly to the left.
Here's our AT&T U-verse multi-view. You'll take a look at Mark Buehrle from the center field camera. You'll see Alex Avila from the side. And you'll take a look at Paulie just in case Avila pulls the ball down the first baseline.
Two and one to count to the 24-year-old receiver. Ball hit hard. Look at the pick by Paulie. Mercy. The only way you can make that is by having the glove down so you can come up with it. Beautiful play.
Paulie got the ball and get rid of it very quickly, knowing Mark Buehrle would be there. These guys have played together so long, they know exactly where each other is going to be. Just flipped it. Made sure he got it there in plenty of time.
That ball was scalded. So now they go back to the top of the order. Austin Jackson, who's 1 for 2, had a swinging bunt right down the third baseline about 30 feet. There's a strike to even the count at 1. Seattle on a 15-game losing streak. Yankees leading 2-0, still hitting in the bottom of the first inning in the Bronx.
It's a bad place to go on a losing streak.
That was even worse. It's a bad place to go when you're a rookie and they're only giving you $10 a day meal money. Well,
then you sleep in the clubhouse.
And then That's the first leg of a 3-week road trip.
You can't leave the clubhouse too much.
He gone.
Good straight change, the same pitch. You got him to pop up last inning. This one just dies on the outside corner. This time, no contact.
So here's BOESCH. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded to second. Then he hit a hard comebacker that Burley fielded easily. Mets leading Cincinnati 4-1. That game in the bottom of the seventh, I should say, at the Great American Ballpark. 1-1 the count. San Diego beat the Phillies at Citizens Bank 5-4. Cliff Lee the loser.
And Aaron Harang running his record to 9-2.
Slams that one down the line for a single. So here's MAGGLIO. He started off that 2 unearned run third with a 2-out single. That ball hit hard in the left center field, but Juan is there now. Watch out. Alex calls him off, makes the catch. And that'll retire the side. So we'll go to the bottom of the fourth. It is 2-1 Detroit.
Question: who's the only player in White Sox history 300+ average and 30+ stolen bases in his rookie year? And the answer: none other than Minnie Minoso back in 1951. You'll see Minnie around the ballpark.
Minnie was a player. What a great ambassador for the White Sox. But here we go in the bottom of the fourth inning. 2-8-0 for the Tigers. 1-4-1 for our Sox. Another great rookie season was by the big man from Gary, Ron Kittle. 1983, 35 homers and drove in 100. Ron Kittle, one of the strongest men to ever play the game of baseball. 2-0 the count. Quentin popped up to right field. And the count 3-0. And that game in Cleveland, after 7 innings, still 1-0 Tribe over Dan Herron and the Halos. That ball high and deep, stretch. Nope.
Second time Carlos has hit the ball to right field. And this one he catches off the end of the bat. Ordonez, who doesn't have great range, doesn't really need it on this one.
So here is Rios. That's can of corn in the center. So 2 down. And that'll bring up AJ. AJ fouled out down the left field line to Ryan Rayburn, who went a long way and made a good play. If you're just tuning in, 2 unearned runs for the Tigers in the third. We gave them 5 outs. Only 1 to count. And that's into left field. That's going to hang up for him. It didn't take long. 1, 2, 3, and we'll go to the 5th. Top of the 5th inning in a 2-1 Tiger lead. It'll be Cabrera, Martinez, and Peralta. This is the heart of this order. Cabrera singled hard into center field, and then he reached on an error back into third. And the count 2-0.
The count got Mark back in the first inning when he had to come to him with a fastball. He took it right back up the middle.
Change up. And the count 3-1. First walk issued by Burley, and a reminder, text Subway to 29653, and if you are the 500th texter, you could win five long subs from Subway.
On the 29th walk for Mark Burley in 132 innings. So a very rare lapse in control. Now you do have a double play situation with Victor Martinez, who's not overly quick and a little bit slower from the right side. He's grounded into 10 double plays this year.
He's 1 for 2. Had a little soft single to knock in a run. Takes that one high and wide.
AJ's going out. Try to let him get his release point back.
Grabs a strike with a changeup. And there's a base hit. Another changeup. So he continues his torrid hitting against Burley.
He came up with the Cleveland Indians. Eventually traded to the Boston Red Sox. A deal that brought them Justin Masterson. Turned out to be a pretty decent trade for both sides. Now Victor, property of the Tigers, where he should stay for a while.
And here is Peralta. He had a high pop-up into short center field that Ramirez went out. Rios came on. Nobody got it. Nobody called for it. That was the 5th out we gave him. And that knocked in a run. But right here, we got more problems. First 2 men aboard. Bobby Abreu has just hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 8th inning to put the Angels on top of Cleveland 2-1.
They took Carmona out, put Pisano in. Cost him a 2 spot.
There's a strike. Nice stop. And the count 2-1. Yeah, this is just about as formidable as 4, 5, and 6 hitter as there is certainly in this league. And the count 2-2.
Good changeup. That ball dying away from Peralta. Bank of America pitch tracks. That ball down and out of the zone.
Count hangs at 2-2. Cardinals leading Houston 4-1, bottom of the 4th in St. Louis. gone. Big strikeout.
That's as awkward a swing as you'll see from Johnny Peralta. He threw a cutter way in off the plate. By the time Peralta realized it was a cutter, he had gone most of the way around.
I've seen Frank Thomas hit that same pitch. Out of here. The big hurt. He could put that cricket swing on him and kill it. Okay, take your time, boys. You got plenty of it. Crack them up. So they get the first two on, and Burley pitches out of it. We're halfway home. We need one to tie. Dwayne Belo making just his second major league start. 25-year-old southpaw out of Britain, Michigan. And he's got Beckham, Morel, then back to the top of the order, Juan Pierre.
Mark Burley did a great job of getting out of that fifth inning. He's given up 9 hits, but both runs unearned through 5 against very potent Tiger lineup.
Yeah, 3 of those hits came in that third inning. That was after the era.
The bullpen now up and going for the Tigers. Jim Leyland is not going to allow his young left-hander to get in too much trouble here in the 5th.
Change up out in front. Peralta. So Beckham now 0 for 2. He's grounded to second, now grounded to short. That'll bring up Morel. Brent got a hard single in the hole between first and second, leading off the third inning. That's when we scored our run.
Joaquin Benoit throwing into pen. Most unusual for him to be up this early, unless he's just getting a workout for later on.
Well, Leyland knows he's starting a rookie. He knows how important this game is, coming in with a 4.5 game lead, and us coming home after beating Cleveland 2 in a row. And And that ball's hit softly in right center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So Morel 2 for 2. Good boy, Quint.
Jackson made a pretty good effort, and for a while it looked like this ball might get by him.
And a reminder, organize a group outing of 20 or more during the season. Purchase a block of tickets or enhance your outing with one of 6 great party areas. So call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. So here's one. He's 2 for 2 at an infield single. And then hit a line drive into left field that BOESCH pulled up on. And it fell in. Takes ball 1. First of 3 against these Tigers. Then after them, we've got, after an off day on Thursday, the Carmines coming in from Boston. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the Yankees in town. Cabrera sucks it up. Can't get in at first. Ball hit hard. Meanwhile, right at him, 2 down.
Going for the 3-6-3 double play. He got the 3-6 part of it, but Juan runs too well. Able to just tie the throw. Actually got him, beat it by about a half step.
So good speed aboard. And here's Alexei. He's grounded to third, then had a sacrifice bunt. Starts him off with a changeup. And the count 2-0. Right here, Alexei. Don't help him out. And right at the bottom of the zone, grabs the strike for a 2-1 count.
Looks like Juan's trying to force BLO to show him his best move at first base. But so far he hasn't shown him much.
Fouls that back. Well, he's got that high right leg kick.
Yeah, the hesitation is tough on base runners.
That is the whole key.
Especially guys that if you suspend it without bringing it back over the pitcher's rubber, then a hitter really doesn't know what to do. You bring it back over the rubber, then he's got to come home with it, and base runners can read that easily.
2 out, 2-2 the count. Outfield, straight up, spread out. Yeah, they're getting picked off, and then he drops the ball. That'll be a stolen base.
Juan did exactly what you're supposed to do when you get picked off, especially by that much. Just keep on running straight to the bag and try to outrun the baseball. In this case, Cabrera knew that he was going to have to get rid of it very quickly. And he just flat out dropped it.
There have been some guys, base stealers in the past. Now, I'm not putting Cabrera in this category, but they steal on the first. Right-handed first baseman. Now pick him up. Make him pay. Good eye, full count.
While they're waiting patiently on deck, he has the 1 run batted into the game for the Sox.
Payoff pitch. And there's a shot, base hit. Here comes one, and they are going to make him pay because this game is tied at 2. Now the ball gets away. ALEXEI will go into second, and KONERKO coming to the plate. Mercy.
Well, the Tigers make a big mistake. It's RBI number 42 for Ramirez. Brennan BOESCH had no shot at all of getting Morel at the plate. Gonna go E7. Base hit, RBI, E7, allowing Ramirez to go to second. Juan Pierre scoring easily on this one.
Scoring easily on a bullet. So Brent Morel has started off both run-scoring innings for us with base hits. 1 in the 3rd leading off the inning, and here with 1 out.
Jeff Jones goes to the mound.
That's what happens when you give a team 4 outs. It's most of the time.
Brand new game, tied at 2.
And a reminder, experience the new Gold Coast Tickets Club located on a 200 level here at beautiful US Cellular Field. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
They're not going to take their chance at all with Paul. They're going to go after Adam Dunn.
Be the first walk issued by Dwayne Belo.
Bullpen up and going. Ruffin. Right-hander getting loosened up in a hurry.
Chance Ruffin. Here's Adam. He's 0 for 2. Hit the ball hard to Cabrera, then struck out. Breaking ball, no. And there's a strike to even the count at 1. Breaking ball strike.
Bank of America pitch tracks will show you that one had a piece of the corner, a good piece of it.
And that's high.
Adam caught a break that time.
Two on, two out, the 2-2. And it's full. Quentin on deck. Just got a piece of it. And that's high ball 4. That'll load him up. And here comes Leyland.
That's going to be it, as we're going to see Chance Ruffin, who's going to make his major league debut here tonight. The 8th Tiger to do so. So that'll be it for Belo. Here comes Ruffin with the bases loaded, and we'll be back.
Jake Peavy goes up against Tigers ace Justin Verlander. Tune in to Sportsnet Central at 6:30 for pregame coverage. White Sox Tigers tomorrow at 7. Only on your home for White Sox baseball. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Here's our Toyota call to the pen, and it is Chance Ruffin making his major league debut. The numbers you see are combined between Double and Triple-A. He was used as a closer, and so you want to pitch in the big leagues, kid, you come in with the bases loaded in front of a packed house in Chicago in a huge game.
In a pennant race.
And here it is.
And Quentin at the plate. He has popped up to right and then went out deep. to right. 22-year-old right-hander, 6'1", 185 pounds, out of Austin, Texas. Chance Ruffin. Let some of that adrenaline work for us. Coming right at him. That was 94. So a big pitch coming up, the 1-1. There's a shot. Fair ball. That's going to score a pair. So Dunn will go into third on the double by Quentin. The Sox lead it 4-2. Yes.
RBIs 61 and 62. As Carlos Quentin delivers a double, first man that Chance Ruffin has ever faced. And that was a slider, a flat one. Winds up in the corner in left field. And for the first time tonight, the Sox have the lead.
Don't stop now, boys, as here's Alex. He's 1 for 2. Breaking ball, strike. Two big tallies out there, Alex. Not too much. Not too much, buddy. Short and quick. And it's popped up. But we get a break. We get a fourth out. And we come up with 3 runs. We'll go to the 6th leading 4-2. It's the top of the 6th inning in a 4-2 Sox lead. Tigers led it 2-0 after 2.5 innings. 2 gift runs we gave them. And then we get a 4th out last inning and come up with a 3 spot. So it'll be Rayburn, Avila, then back to the top of the order with Austin Jackson. Rayburn is single sharply to center, and then with the bases loaded, 2 out back into third. He just missed taking one out of here to dead away center. And the count 2-0.
Between innings, Jim Leyland had an animated conversation with Jim Wolf. What about? We really have no idea.
And the count 3-0.
This was between innings. This went on for a while.
Come back and get him, no walks. Make him hit his way on. And there's a strike. Full count.
Bank of America pitch tracks. You see number 5. Maybe the seam caught the corner.
Change up, turned it over. So the count hangs at 3-2. Texas leading Minnesota 14-1, bottom of the 5th at Arlington. He gone. Nice job, Mark, coming back from a 3-0 to the leadoff guy.
On the 99th pitch of the night, he just throws it right by him.
And the Indians have just tied up. I guess Leland may have been thrown out.
Lloyd McClendon now going out to talk with Ron Kulpa.
The only thing we can come up with is that play at first base with Pierre. But the Indians have just tied up that game on a double by Hafner at 2. Indians have won 10 games in their last at bats this year at home.
Fortunately, we didn't see any of that. We will see a split doubleheader next time we're in town.
That's okay.
Took them 2 straight. Exactly what we had to do to that ball club.
Sox now 6-1 this year against the Tribe. So here's Avila. Up and in. And the count 2-0. Well, Mark. 2-9-1 for their guys, 4-7-1 for our guys here in the top of the 6th inning. Full house. And that's back to the middle. And can't get it. Base hit.
Even if Paulie does scoop that one, Avila's going to be able to beat it out. He does have better than average speed for a catcher. He squibs this ball off the end of the bat. Gordon goes up the middle, gets off as much of a throw as he can going away from the play. But Avila clearly had it beat, even if Paul had come up with it.
So here's Jackson. He's 1 for 3. Had that swinging bunt right down the third base line for about 30 feet, leading off the ball game. Fastball on the outside corner.
Sox bullpen up and going as Mark about to deliver pitch number 104. Ryan Bruni throwing in the pen. That ball right in on the thumbs of Jackson.
And the 1-2 pitch.
Umpires in the stands wanted it, but that ball was off the corner outside.
Change up, popped up. Can of corn.
That's what Mark has done with Jackson after the first at bat. Been a steady diet of changeups, and after that first swinging bunt, he's been 0 for 3. Hasn't gotten much of a swing at him.
He didn't have much of a swing at this swinging bunt.
No, he didn't.
So here's BOESCH. He's grounded to second, grounded hard back to Burley, and then he slammed a single right down the line into left field. Takes that one inside.
What will make BOESCH just a terrific hitter is his ability to use the whole field, and he has some pretty big power for a young man.
He's a big young. Look at the play by Paulie. Yes. Look at Burley. He's giving him the works right there. Meanwhile, that'll do it. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th with a 2-run lead.
KONERKO. There he picks one against ALEXEI down the line, saving for sure a 2-base hit. And then shows he's an equal opportunity defender as he goes up, takes a double away from Brennan BOESCH.
And the thing about those plays that are a little misleading after you watch them on the replay is the fact on just how hard both those balls were hit. So here we go. AJ, Beckham, and Morrell face Chance Ruffin. Takes it up, takes ball 1. AJ is 0 for 2. He's fouled out on a good play by Rayburn. And then he lined hard to left. That ball hit deep. Maggs just looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Just a bullet out of here by AJ. His 4th, and it's a 5-2 Sox lead. Mercy.
4th home run, 31st driven in. And Chance Ruffin has been greeted rather rudely in his major league debut. Our 4th home run replay, a fastball that's on the inner portion and gone.
So here's Beckham. Tries to bunt it, and that's foul. Gordon 0 for 2. He's going out to second and short. And of course, with that home run by Pierzynski, the Alex Nelius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 93. So $9,300 donated by Alex Nelius in loving memory of Ursula. And that's popped up into left center field. Boesch making the call, has the ball. 1 out. And it'll bring up Morel, who is 2 for 2. He started off that 1-run third and scored with a single, hard single. And then last inning with 1 out, nobody on, starts off that 3-run fifth with a single. There's a bunt. Ruffin up with it, throws, and that's out number 2. Indians have the bases loaded, 1 out. Bottom of the 9th, and a 2-2 tie with the Angels.
Charlie Furbush throwing in the pen for the Tigers. Also looks like Mark Burley's night is over.
And 1. Will pop it up. 1 now, 2 for 4 with a run scored, a stolen base. But the home run by AJ, we'll go to the 7th, leading 5-2.
Is back for just $1.89, but you don't have to remember it to love it. Prices and participation may vary. For a limited time, a la carte only. With a 3-run lead as we head into the top of the 7th inning, it's Jesse Crain who comes into the game. Some pretty impressive numbers for Jesse. On in relief of Mark Burley. Jesse 5-2, ERA 2.25, out for the 45th time. 44 strikeouts, just 16 walks in 44 innings, and Mark Burley went 6 innings, gave up 2 unearned runs on 10 hits. That's called scattering 10 hits over 6 innings.
Well, we needed a big effort from him, and he gave it to us. We gave him 5 outs in that 3rd inning when they scored the 2 unearned runs, but still, Burley was just Burley today. He can scatter some hits. And the Indians have come back on a base hit by Jason Kipnis in the bottom of the 9th. to win that ball game 3-2 over the Angels, getting us out of Northbrook, Illinois. He's got a terrific looking swing. But right here, we got to get some outs as Mags takes the strike and the count evens at 1. 5, 8-1 for us. 2, 10-1 for them. Mags is 1 for 3. And that is fouled off. That one at 95 in the count 1-2. Yankees leading Seattle 5-1, bottom of the 4th in the Bronx. Seattle trying to break a 15-game losing streak. A little too high. Little half swing and the big out, first out. So here's Cabrera. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Threw that one right by him at 96. That ball hit high and deep. And it is 5-3.
Well, Jesse threw one fastball by him and then tried to go to the well once again. Home run number 21, RBI number 65. Now it's a 2-run game. Fourth home run replay. One fastball in one spot is okay. The second one in the same spot, not so good.
So here's Martinez. He's 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI. Well, Miguel Cabrera is just a magnificent hitter. And he has been for a long time since he's come into the major leagues. The kid. Anything from the middle out over the plate. You're just really dealing with a lot of danger. Not that he can't get you from the middle in. You don't put the numbers and drive in the runs that he does. You see a guy that drives in a lot of runs, you're going to see a guy that got pretty good plate coverage. But if you're going to get him, most of the time, if he's swinging back good, it's got to be in.
I think Greg Maddux said it best when he said never the same pitch at the same speed in the same place in the same at bat.
Well, that's putting it right on the money. I mean, that's exactly where it's at.
And that was the exact same pitch at the exact same speed in a spot where he swung through the first one, just took the second one out.
There have been a lot of guys who, if you doubled them up with a fastball, not so much a breaking ball, but a fastball in the same spot, and they would go over the meetings and say that. Don't throw them the same pitch twice. As there's a little check swing. Quint's got some time with Martinez running. Roger Maris was a guy like that. You throw him the fastball, same spot, chances are that second one's going to leave the park. Another one was Dwight Evans of the Boston Red Sox. Was notorious if you threw him the fastball, same spot, you can put it on the board. So here's Peralta. Now on the other side of that page, there are a lot of guys, you can just throw them 3 or 4 in the same spot and they can't do anything with it, especially left-handed hitters. Two and 0 the count to Peralta.
Jesse wanted that last pitch. That was a pretty good pitch. AJ is probably talking it over with Jim Wolf.
That's popped up. Come back. Paulie getting over there. Just not enough room. Dadgum.
Seattle's going to have a hard time coming back against the Yankees, I believe.
8-1. Out in front. So the count 2-2. Freddie Garcia on the bump for the Yankees. And that change up out in front of that one. Freddie 8-7 on the season. And he's lost 2 or 3 real tough games. Nobody on, 2 out, and the 2-2. Now straight back over Stoney's head.
Would have had that one easily.
I know one thing, you're doing the easy part now. You're talking.
Yeah. Getting a foul ball up over our heads is getting it back up there a long way.
And there's another souvenir right side. You're just tuning in. Tigers 200 runs in the third. We picked up one in the bottom of the third. And we got a 4th out in the 5th and scored 3 times to make it 4-2. Pierzynski's homer in the 6th made it 5-2, and now Cabrera's homer here in the top of the 7th. It is 5-3 White Sox. And a full count.
Carlos Guillen waiting if Peralta can keep it alive.
And another souvenir. First of 3 with these guys, and off day on Thursday. Over the weekend it'll be the Boston Red Sox Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday it'll be the New York Yankees coming to town. So the walk will extend the inning to Carlos Guillen. He's 1 for 3. I'll tell you, I'm just thinking back about that 3-run 5th for us. That was a big at bat by Adam Dunn when he fell down in the count and drew the walk. worked the walk. That set up the 2-run double by Quentin.
That's one of the reasons why, well, that probably is the reason why Jim Leyland was thrown out of the game. Arguing on a pitch that he thought was a strike, that Jim Wolf thought was a ball.
That was a big at bat. He did not go. And the count 2-1. Change up, well out in front.
Good pitch after the curveball. Ian thought it was a fastball, just never got there.
And that one's low. So a full count to Guillen. There's Ryan Rayburn on deck.
Well, he looked over at Jesse Crain and said he's going to play behind him. So don't come over here with that quick move, because I will not be at the bag.
And there's a foul ball. So Peralta had an extended at bat, fouling off a lot of pitches. This will be the 28th pitch of this inning for Jesse. And the payoff. So 2 out, back-to-back walks. And here's Rayburn, who's 1 for 3.
Career against Jesse Crain has been very good for Ryan Rayburn. And I think AJ probably went out to be careful with the first ball fastball, and that's probably what Don Cooper is going out to talk to him about right now. Chris Sale.
6 for 26 with a couple of home runs off. No, check that was off Burley. 5 for 9 with a couple of doubles.
Chris Sale's loosening up for Avila if this inning stays alive to that point. And finally Jim Wolf breaks it up. Chris will have more than an ample opportunity to get loosened up. But you want to end it right here. Tiger bullpen is going. It's Furbush and Albuquerque.
Got a shot at second. Yes! We get another break by the Tigers as Guillen is easily thrown out. And what a job by Pierzynski just to keep it in front of him, giving Jesse a chance to come in, make the play. 7th inning stretch, we lead it 5-3. Oh! First pitch to Alexei. Breaking ball strike from Chance Ruffin here in the bottom of the 7th. 5-3 good guys. Alexei 1 for 2. Had a big 2-out single to tie the game at 2 back in the 5th inning. Another breaking ball, another strike. Couple of breaks in that inning. And the Sox took advantage of it for the final out.
When a ball gets away from the catcher, you very rarely expect it to be right back at the pitcher.
Very seldom. Very seldom.
Exactly what happened.
Well, that's what happens when you keep the ball in front of you for a catcher, though. You got anything good can happen then.
Off the shin guard, and Jesse quickly guns down Guillen.
Had the shin guard in the right place. That was the first break, and there was the second break. Watch out.
Well, he struck him out, and that man was very fortunate to get away with just a little bruise.
Those were the 2 breaks. Hitting the shin guard. Watch out. And then bouncing back. So here's Paulie. Paulie 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly and a walk. Slider on the corner. Says Jim Wolf. That one misses. He did not go. 37,110.
Big crowd here, and so far they've really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, after the top of the 3rd.
Hasn't been the best played game, but it's been somewhat exciting.
That ball hit deep, way back. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes. Number 23 for Paulie, RBI number 72. And it's a 6-3 ball game. Hello.
That is going to be it for Ruffin. Our 4th home run replay. Another fastball. It's pretty straight. And Paulie takes it out. So Ruffin came in a 2-run double. Solo home runs to AJ and Paul Konerko. He'll leave. We'll step out. I'll be back after these messages. 277. He's made a couple of starts this year. This is his 16th appearance. He was sent down to the minor leagues, recently recalled. There you look at the numbers. And he inherits a 3-run deficit here in the bottom of the 7th.
And a reminder, you can provide your guest with the ultimate baseball experience in the LG Skyline Club, United Scout Seats, Gold Coast Tickets Club, or Diamond Suites. Premium seating areas offer exclusive amenities and benefits and are a great way to entertain. So for information, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. So here's Adam, 0 for 2, but had a big at-bat back in the 5th to load the bases with 2 outs after falling down in the count. And then Quentin had the 2-run double. That made it a 4-2 Sox lead. Got the big shift on. One and one to count. That's defeated the Reds 4-2 at the Great American Ballpark. Dickey over Leake. Another breaking pitch in the count. 1-2. 18-1 now. Texas leading Minnesota. That game in the top of the 7th. Lays off that one. If you're just joining us, 3 home runs in the game. One by Cabrera for them. One by Pierzynski for us. And another by Konerko. Paulie is his 40th career home run against the Tigers. And a full count to Dunn. And there's ball 4. So after falling down to count 1-2 again, he draws the walk. And here's Carlos Quentin. Here's what he did in the 5th. 2 out, bases loaded. That was his 26th double. He now has driven in 62. And if you're just joining us, Cleveland scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning to beat the Angels 3-2. Their 11th win and their last at bat at home this season. Jason Kipnis, the base hit.
Furbush is having some problems getting the ball over the plate. Sends Avila out to the mound to have a talk with him. Nobody up in the bullpen, but Jeff Jones goes out and he wants to talk with him.
And while they're chatting, a reminder on Thursday, August 4th, first 20,000 adults ages 21 and over will receive a beer vendor bobblehead presented by Miller Lite. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. 2-0, 1 out. And there's a strike.
Bank of America pitch tracks has caught the outside corner.
So 2-2 the count. And a full count.
A very busy Tiger bullpen up again. David Percy.
Ball hammered fair. Adams going to give it a shot. Here's the throw. They got it. Beautiful peg by Boesch.
I think Quentin's probably going to be given a double on this as it's a fastball low and in. Carlos takes it down the line. And the throw on the short hop. He's got him. So now Carlos Quentin is going to depart the game after a couple of big doubles in 4 at-bats. And Brent Lillibridge will come on to pinch run and come on to play defense for him.
So here's Rios. He singled to center, went out to center, and popped up to second. They're going to put him on to get to AJ. So 2 out. And now 2 on for AJ. And here's what he did leading off last inning.
The time has made it a 5-2 game. 4th home run of the year.
Breaking ball, and it misses. AJ has faced Furbush one time. He was 0 for 1. Also a reminder, as I mentioned, first of a 10-game homestand. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it'll be the Red Sox in town. And fireworks will be on Friday and Saturday nights. Another breaking pitch. 1-1 to count. And there's strike 2. So a ball and 2 strikes with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Now a little talk between AVILA and Furbush. Good speed aboard. Lillibridge at second and Rios at first. Yeah, curveball hit on the ground to Guillen, and that'll do it. But the home run, the long home run by KONERKO will go to the 8th inning, 6-3. All right, our Chuck, thank you very much, buddy. Well, Jesse Crain, who threw 29 pitches last inning, in for his 2nd inning of work.
I think he's going to get just one hitter, and that's going to be Rayburn. And after that, as you look at Brent Lillibridge, who stays in the game in right field, it's going to be Chris Sale to take on Alex Avila, who's in the on-deck circle.
First pitch strike. Rayburn 1 for 3. He was at the plate when the ball in the dirt hit the shin guard of AJ, bounced back to Crain, and he got Carlos Guillen easily at second base for the final out of the 7th. And there is out. And let's take another look at that big play. 2 breaks we caught. First, the shin guard's in the right place. Now the bounce back to him. So Jesse Crain works an inning and a third. He departs. Chris Sale comes on, and we'll be back. Sportsnet. Tribune writers, sports stars, and celebrities join host David Kaplan to discuss the day's hottest sports topics and set the table for the night ahead. Chicago Tribune Live, presented by Captain Morgan. Weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Our Toyota call to the pen is Chris Sale, who comes in the game with the bases empty. 2-1 record, 3.32 ERA in for the 38th time. And he's got a 3-run lead to protect, with Alex Avila looking out at him.
Alex 1 for 3, hit an infield single. Takes that big breaking ball strike. Austin Jackson, the leadoff hitter, on deck. And there's another breaking ball. And he is now 2 for 4. Jackson's 1 for 4. Leading off the ball game, had a big swinging bunt single right down the third baseline. Pretty good pitch, didn't get it.
Sale wants this one.
Ground ball, little backhand, quick. Can they turn it? Yes! Good turn on a strong arm. Beautiful play by ALEXEI, and the strong arm of Gordon Beckham. That'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th with this 3-run lead.
And it's 2 more with these Tigers, both on CSN. Then the off day on Thursday. Boston comes to town for 3. Then the Yankees here on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of August before it's off on the road again to Minnesota. Our Felco upcoming schedule. The probables, it's Verlander against Peavy tomorrow night, and Wednesday afternoon, Scherzer and Johnny Danks go head-to-head in the finale of the Detroit series. David Persey comes into the game. Persey at 1-2, ERA almost at 5. There you look at the numbers. Left-handers have hit him a whole lot better than right-handers.
It'll be Beckham, Morel, and Juan Pierre. Gordon 0 for 3. Start us off right here. Let's get a couple more. Gordon is grounded to second, grounded to short, and gone out to left. 0-2 the count. That's inside. Outfield spread out for Beckham. Yankees leading Seattle 9-1, top of the 7th in the Bronx. The Yankees trying to pick up their 60th victory of the season and go 20 games over. As that's popped up right side. Mags coming on. One out.
Texas has gotten to the 20 mark. 20-2 in a pounding of the Twins in Texas.
So here's Brent. He has been key in this ball game. He's 2 for 3 with a run scored and started off both our first 2 scoring innings. The 1 spot in the 3rd, the 3 spot in the 5th. And there's one in the hole. That's going to be a base hit. So he's 3 for 4.
Been a big night for Brent. First he tries the backdoor breaking ball. We told you about the range of Peralta. Even if he comes up with that, no chance at all to get Morel.
Juan is 2 for 4 with a run scored. Also a stolen base. As that's popped up and not quite. And what turned out to be a key play was on that stolen base. They had it picked off. And Cabrera went to take it out of his glove, couldn't find the ears on it. Juan gets in safely. Then the big hit, probably the biggest hit of the ball game as far as getting us going, was the 2-out single by ALEXEI Ramirez, knocking in the tying run and an intentional walk to KONERKO, and then a big at bat, walk to Dunn, and then the 2-run double by Quentin. 0-2 the count. 37,110. Outfield real short, and from around to the left. Huge gap in right center.
Sergio Santos getting loosened up and ready to go.
And that's popped up into short right field. It's going to fall, but they're going to get to force at second.
Ordonez never saw this ball. I can't believe that he was playing one all that deeply. He just stops, and nothing Morel can do. He can't take off.
He's thinking that's almost a can of corn.
It was.
So here's ALEXEI, 1 for 3 with that big hit. Jake Meister on the bump tomorrow night. Jake Peavy against Justin Verlander. So make your plans to be with us here at the beautiful ballpark in the beautiful city. And on Wednesday afternoon, Johnny Danks against Max Scherzer. Now, if you can't make it to the ballpark either one of those days, both those games will be right here on Comcast Sportsnet. high and wide. They got him picked off again. And again. Peralta having a tough time getting to the back. Meanwhile, that'll retire the side, and we'll go to the ninth, leading 6-3. Sox post-game live. Watch highlights and get analysis from Chuck and Bill. Plus, go live to the always entertaining Ozzie Guillen post-game remarks. So don't miss Galaxy White Sox post-game live immediately following this game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Top of the ninth inning, 6-11-1 for our guys, 3-12-1 for their guys. Brennan Boesch takes ball one from Chris Sale. Sergio's ready down in the pen. Boesch is 1 for 4 tonight. And the count 2-0. Come on, Chris, no walks. And there's one. And that's popped up. Juan making the call. And a big out. And Ozzie, looking down at the pen, comes out of the dugout. So Chris does a good job going in the inning, giving up one hit. He'll depart. Santos comes on and will be back.
3-12 on for the 41st time. He's looking for a couple of outs. And he's going to be looking at Ordonez and Cabrera. And hopefully that ends it before Martinez gets an opportunity. Big night for Carlos Quentin. Couple of doubles, one of the 2-run variety.
And if you're just joining us, Mark Buehrle went 6 innings, giving up 2 runs, both unearned. We gave them 5 outs in the 3rd when they scored those 2 runs off him. Give up the correct terminology, scattered. 10 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. And first ball, Hunting pops it up. 1 pitch. And 2 outs. And this is where you like to see this guy come to the plate.
Always. Nobody on, 2 outs. And not representing the tying run.
And he's first ball hacking. Fouls it out of play. That one at 98. Got some talent against talent going at one another right here. As 37,110, and most of them on their feet. One and one to count. Slider, and the count 1-2. Buehrle in line to pick up his 8th victory and his 18th of his career against the Tigers, and go 18-9 and lower that 3.22 ERA by 6 innings. He gone, and this ball game is over. So the Sox give them 2 big runs in the top of the 3rd, Stoney, and Buehrle just battled and battled and picks up the victory.
Well, Mark Buehrle threw the ball as well as you could possibly throw it by giving up 10 runs, but none of them earned. So he could have escaped in a shutout. As it turned out, he pitched out of some tough innings. This was not a well-played game. We just had a little more thunder in the bats than they had tonight.
And they gave us the big break. The big break in the 5th inning. They gave us 4 outs when we picked up the 3. And a couple of home runs, one by Pierzynski that made it 5-3, and then a long home run by KONERKO made it 6-3. So the Sox starting off this big 10-game homestand with a big victory. We will now go to 3.5 back of the Tigers. And let's check out our GMC player of the game. It is Carlos Quentin. 2 for 4, 2 doubles, a big 2-out, 2-run double back in the 5th inning. Our GMC player of the game. And a reminder, tomorrow, Jake Peavy against Justin Verlander. And that game will be right here on Comcast Sportsnet if you can't make it to the ballpark. But right now, let's go down to field level.
All right, thanks, Hawk. Kip Lewis here with Carlos Quentin in front of the Sox dugout. You knew this was a big series. I know you guys wanted to get off to a good start. Take us through your 2-run double there in the 5th and do that at bat.
First of all, every game in the second half is a big game, so let me emphasize that. The double, Adam had a great at bat. They laid off some tough pitches. He got on base, got the bases loaded, gave me a chance to come up there. I hadn't faced, I think it was Ruffin, hadn't faced him before. Just looking for something I could put a barrel on, get a run in. I left the slider over the plate, and I was fortunate it stayed fair.
You guys faced a young pitcher in Bilo tonight who was making just his second major league start. How important was it to get after him early in this game?
He threw well. He kept the ball down. Kept the ball down and away. We were putting together some good at-bats. He kept his team there, and then we were fortunate enough to have that inning, get ahead of him. Bullpen came in, did a good job, and we added on some later. So it was a good all-around win.
Talk about the job Burley did out there, sort of fighting out there to keep you guys in this.
Burles did a great job. He always gives us his best effort out there. I mean, he had a lot of pitches going in, only got through 6, but Mark Burley, he bulldogs his way out there, and he gets outs, big outs when we needed him. He did a great job for us.
Finally, you get Verlander tomorrow. Obviously, he's pitched very well this year. How tough is it to get after a guy like that, and what do you guys have to do to have success against him here tomorrow? Well,
obviously, Justin Verlander's a great pitcher. We'll look forward to that challenge as hitters. We'll just look forward to capitalize on any mistakes he makes, and hope he does make some mistakes over the middle of the plate, and we'll bring our best effort, and I'm sure he will, and it'll be a good game.
All right, Carlos, congratulations. Appreciate your time.
All right, Kip, nice job, buddy. So, Sox win at 6-3. And for my partner, Steve Stone, our director, Jim Angio, our producer, Mike Leary, our associate producer, Dave Ross, our technical manager, Mark Harper, the executive producer, Jim Corno Jr., also for the mayor, Mean Joe Group, and up here in the booth, Mike Mayer, Frank D'Amato, and Frank Leone. This is the Hawk. So long, everybody.